Hello, my name is Michael and I work for The Reader, where I'm part of the partnership team. This time of year, and this year more than any other, I start venturing further, looking for small adventures, walking through new places, or perhaps going back to familiar places and rediscovering them afresh. Why I do this? For all sorts of different reasons. I heard a great story about that place and wanting to explore it for myself. I might be just want to be bowled over by the beauty of a new landscape. I might be going somewhere that's a bit risky, where I don't know what's going to happen, but all the time I want to be surprised and delighted and find something new in these places. I've chosen a short poem, an extract from a longer poem, but a short extract today that has a moment of revelation within a landscape, where the writer's attention is drawn to something new around him. It's from a much longer poem called The Prelude by William Wordsworth, and I've chosen a bit actually just towards the end in the concluding section of the whole work. I'll just read through this section, and then I have a couple of things I'd like to share with you. The context for this, by the way, is that the writer and one or two other people are climbing Snowdon at night time. This small adventure, for even such it seemed in that wild place, and at the dead of night, being over and forgotten, on we wound, in silence as before. With forehead bent earthward, as if in opposition, set against an enemy, I panted up, and with eager pace, and no less eager thoughts, thus might we wear perhaps an hour away, ascending at loose distance each from each, and I as chance the foremost of the band. When at my feet the ground appeared to brighten, and with a step or two seemed brighter still, nor had I time to ask the cause of this, for instantly a light upon the turf fell like a flash. I looked about, and lo, the moon stood naked in the heavens, at height immense above my head. And on the shore I found myself of a huge sea of mist, which meek and silent rested at our feet. 100 hills their dusky backs upheaved, all over this still ocean, and beyond, far, far beyond, the vapours shot themselves in headlands, tongues, and promontory shapes into the sea, the real sea, that seemed to dwindle and give up its majesty, usurped upon as far as sight could reach. Meanwhile, the moon looked down upon this show in single glory, and we stood, the mist touching our very feet, and from the shore, at distance not the third part of a mile, was a blue chasm, a fracture in the vapour, a deep and gloomy breathing place, through which mounted the roar of waters, torrents, streams innumerable, roaring with one voice. It's an incredible description of a energized, vital, moving landscape full of sea and mist. But all of that is revealed in this moment when the writer seems to turn their attention from what's under their feet, of where they're stepping, step by step, to the landscape as a whole. And that moment is revealed to them by the moon, by this, I kind of imagine a shaft of moonlight picking out the writer's feet, and that drawing their attention to exactly where they are and what's going on around them. that movement between what's under your feet and what's all around you, the whole environment, the universe, seems to reoccur several times there. And by complete coincidence, a couple of days ago, someone read me a poem which I hadn't heard before, where there's something similar going on between the night sky and what's under our feet. It's a poem by Lucille Clifton called Won't You Celebrate Me? It's a short poem, but I'll leave you to discover it for yourself. I really recommend seeking it out. She talks briefly, looking back on her life, about how she's shaped her life. And through lack of role models and not seeing people like herself around her, she says, I made it up, talking about her life. I made it up here on this bridge between starshine and clay, between, again, starshine and clay, between perhaps the dreams or the unobtainable or the obtainable, the stuff you want to reach out for and the stuff that is here under your feet. And that combination of looking around you and noticing what is right there around you and under your feet seems like a great way to introduce the Reader bookshelf, which is launched today and is an incredible collection of poems, non-fiction, fiction, biography, all sorts of different texts, all grouped together as a way of exploring so many different aspects of ways in which all of us build these lives for ourselves and journey across the living world. I really encourage you to go and seek out the Reader bookshelf. It's going to be running all year, so you've got loads of time to delve into it really deep, but also time to come back to us with your own suggestions for what you would want to see on a bookshelf under the theme of walking the earth. Thanks again. Bye.